What's going on, people? Apparently, according to routers, Donald Trump is considering lifting the sanctions on Russia. And to be perfectly honest with you, he should lift the sanctions on Russia. I mean, all this Russia bullshit, I don't know what else to call it because that's exactly what it is really just an excuse to say, hey, you know, look, we did nothing wrong. It amazingly is doing a good job of keeping the Democrats from acknowledging why they lost the election. They want to blame it on Russia. Well, first of all, and this is another amazing thing, the way the media is going completely out of the way to ignore the ex-British ambassador, who has already said, he's already stepped up and said, he put himself out in front of the world and said, look, you're looking for the smoking gun. You want to know who gave the information to WikiLeaks? It's me. You want to know where I got it from? He says he got it from DNC staffers who were pissed off with the DNC. I think it was a couple of them. Anyway, I know that one of the motives for giving the information over was the fact that the person or persons did not like what the DNC did to Bernie Sanders. Secondly, they just didn't like the way they were operating. They didn't think it was right. So they passed the information on to this ex-British ambassador. Now, this is not some fly-by-night guy that's coming by saying this. This is an ex-British ambassador who said a long time ago, this is not new news. It might be new news if you follow CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and all that. I think Fox News may have mentioned it. But yeah, he said he got it from 2 DNC staffers. So you're looking for a smoking gun. That's it. He said, I got the information from the DNC staffers. They're whistleblowers. They don't want to step forward. Can you blame them? Especially since they're blaming this whole thing on Russia. They could, since they're going to blame it on Russia, even if they're going to lose and the case is weak, they can still make the people's lives very uncomfortable, to say the least, by charging them with espionage charges. Because you got to remember, you can charge somebody with anything. And then, yeah, you might go into court and lose the case, but look at what you've taken those people through. Now you've charged them with espionage charges. Now you get the right to go into their home, search through it, you get the right to pick them up. You know, according to the law now, the federal laws, you can scoop them up for no reason. And you can take them, you can lock them up indefinitely. You can put them behind bars. You know, yeah, one day you might lose in court, you might have to let them go, but until then, you can keep them behind bars and you don't even have to explain anything to anybody. That's the reason why I'm telling the people over at the EPA to be really careful of these Democrats who are telling you if you want to be a whistleblower, come to them and they'll protect you. I wouldn't depend on that, man. I'm not going to tell you not to give some information up, but just be real careful how you do it. But anyway, other than the British ambassador, excuse me, what a lot of people don't understand is that people are well-read these days. People are well-read, they're well-informed, especially when you get to center and then over to the left. So let's look at these emails. Let's say they were to find a smoking gun that proved that Russia did indeed hack the DNC, right? Let's say that they even found out, let's go further. Let's say they actually hacked into the system and like Homeland Security did Georgia. Didn't know about that, did you? Yeah, they did. But, and actually messed with some votes, okay? Here's the problem you're left with. Most people, even the fake people who will act like they don't know this, but most people in America already know these major countries hack each other. The truth of the matter is, if I tell you Russia hacked America, you're not surprised. If I tell you America hacked Iran, in fact, America a few years ago did hack Iran, and that's common knowledge now. They admit it. But you're not surprised. Nobody, that story didn't even, it didn't stay in the news long. Even after even though the America admitted it, it was not a big deal. Nobody was like, wow, really? America hacked Iran? Oh, wow. If I told you China hacked America, you would not be surprised. Everybody already knows that. So even if you were to be able to prove that Russia actually hacked America and did something with the election, people are not going to be surprised about that. You're still going to have the contents of the email. That is where the surprise is. Not the fact that they were doing it. A lot of people were already, they already knew that they were doing it. They already knew they were cheating, Bernie. And what's amazing is the very people who were supporting Hillary, who was saying that it wasn't happening, now they're going around saying, oh, you're really shocked about that? Wait a minute, I thought you didn't think it was happening. Did you think it was happening or did you not think it was happening? Which one is it? You kind of got me confused a little bit. I don't know what to think. Yeah, I do know what to think. You're full of it. You knew that they were cheating them as well. You just didn't mind because you were supporting Hillary. So in the reality is, nobody was surprised that the DNC was cheating Hillary. I mean, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's still early in the morning. Hadn't had my coffee yet either. But nobody was shocked, really, that the DNC was cheating Bernie. But what we were shocked by was the cavalier way in which they went about it. You read some of those emails and you're like, wow, they're really emailing this? Particularly on private email? I mean, I know it's the DNC, but they don't have like, I mean, even a lot of government emails get hacked, you know? You're doing, basically what they were doing was illegal. And they're emailing about it. They're doing all these things and just like with the Podesta emails, I understand Podesta's email is not a government email. It was a personal email. And Hillary and other people are emailing back and forth with Podesta, and they're doing these things that they know they should not do, and they're just emailing about it. Here's one thing I want to say. The Democrats, as a party, have to figure out a way to take the moral high ground back. Now, one good thing about it is we have abandoned that area of the field. But one good thing is that you don't have to worry about the Republicans occupying it while you're gone, because that's just not their thing. So the space is open. But you got to remember there are third parties out there. So the Democrats need to take that piece of the field back while they can. Because the Democratic Party was the party of truth. It was the party of education. It was the party of facts. It was the party that could be proud that we weren't being led by the nose when it comes to what we believe in and what we don't believe in. And I think our fear of Trump has led us to a point where now we have turned into that thing we once hated. Now the Democratic Party has turned into that. And when I say we, I'm not necessarily talking about the Democratic Party, but I'm talking about many people that's on the left, because I do know some independents who also fell into that category. Once Trump came into the picture, they also started abandoning that part of the field. So we need to take that back. We need to take it back. And, we have to, once again, be the party of truth. We cannot go into 2020 acting like we believe anything officials tell us because they have a D in front of their name. Okay? Because that's just not people on the left. Even though I was independent for many years, one of the things I did like about the left, I did like about the Democrats, is that you could discuss facts and you could be rational. You could use common sense. You wouldn't, if the facts was laid before you, you wouldn't act like you didn't see it. You would acknowledge that you saw it. And then the discussion would be taken from there. But you wouldn't just act like you didn't see what you just saw, or you didn't just read what you just read. or you didn't just hear what you just heard. You know, so that's important, man. That's really going to have to happen, and we need to admit that on the left in the DNC, some things happen that should not have happened, and these people are trying like hell not to acknowledge it. That is not going to work. What you have to understand is all these people who are trying to lead people astray, they're going to be okay even with Donald Trump in office. Hillary Clinton, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Barack Obama, just about everybody you read about in those emails, even the lower level people, they're connected. Their lives are going to be okay. If you punch a clock every day, or if you sign in every day, or if you're somebody that's low on the totem pole on your job, or even if it's just a regular job and it doesn't connect you with the upper echelon of our society, you're the one at risk. They're not at risk, so they can afford to keep playing this little game. Us commoners, people in the common class, we can't afford that. We need to get ourselves together. We need to tell these people that, look, this nonsense you're pulling, look, we're not going to let that happen in 2020, okay? We're just simply not going to. Get your act together and do the right thing, all right? So that's one thing we need to do. We really need to get back to that. You know, we hadn't abandoned that for too long, so it shouldn't be hard for us to take it back. And then, like I said, one thing, you know, the Republicans is not going to turn into the party of honor and integrity, you know, overnight. And in fact, I think you could leave planet Earth for maybe 1,000 years and come back and they'll still be the same. But yeah, so it was and then some people were just surprised. There were some people who were probably honestly shocked that the DNC was doing that. They probably really believed in the DNC. They probably really believed the DNC would never do anything like that. I know that those people exist, and you know what? I don't really blame them for thinking that. I mean, because that is the way it should be. The DNC should be an organization like that. So, yeah, you know, I only wish you were right. I only wish you were right in your assessment that they were an organization with high integrity and they would never cheat in the election. And if anything, Republicans would do that. Well, clearly we see now that's not true. So they're concerned about the next election in 2020. That's the reason why it's so important to blame this on Russia and not on them. I go back again. Even if you could blame it on Russia, you still have the contents of the email. The content of the email is still there. It's their email. People were actually fired. I think approximately 6 or 7 people across the DNC ended up losing their jobs because of those emails. So you still have that. No one's shocked about countries hacking each other. A lot of people were surprised and disappointed that the DNC was conducting themselves the way they were conducting themselves. So, look, Russia is a country with nukes. If we can be friendly with them, I want to be friendly with them. So, I'm reading this story now. I haven't finished it yet, where the Republicans are concerned that Donald Trump might actually come through with some of his promises. You know, those ones that are supposed to be good for the common man and woman. They're actually concerned about that, and they say that they're getting ready to resist him on that. Excuse me. So I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't know if he's really going to do that or not. I don't know if they're just doing that just to make him look good. You know, yeah, you guys, you know, like in other words, they you know, good cop, bad cop type thing. You know, I don't know. That's pretty interesting, though. So from what I understand, John McCain is one of the main people leading the charge against him. But look, I'm perfectly well capable of saying when Donald Trump is doing something good. And if he's talking about lifting the sanctions on Russia, bravo, man. Bravo. You need to do that. Russia is somebody we need to get along with. Anybody who can drop a nuke on your ass, you need to be getting along with them. All right? All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good rest of the weekend. Talk to you later.